Everybody, it's David Bradley here. Welcome back to another episode of the Rich Man's Gym Podcast. I am your host. Thank you so much for being here. What's the Rich Man's Gym Podcast? So first timers, number one, thank you for showing up. Thank you so much for being here. This is a personal development podcast that is dedicated to strength and conditioning for body, mind, and spirit. So if you, like me, are looking to level up and then tap into that true potential of yours, my friend, you're in the right place, and thank you for being here. So today we're going to be talking about a topic that is near and dear to my heart, something I've had a lot of experience with, which is how to fight cravings. One simple hack to fight cravings. But before I get into that, two things. Number one, if you find some value in today's episode, if it helps you in any way, shape, or form, please do me a favor for the flavor. Share this sucker out into cyberspace so that other folks can benefit from it too. I promise you, if it helped you, when you share it, somebody else is out there just waiting to trip into that and get some help as well. So thank you in advance for doing that. If you haven't subscribed already, hey, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss an episode. Also, the way we get bills paid around here is I got some sponsors on the Rich Man's Gym podcast. I'm going to give them just a couple quick seconds or minutes so that they can tell you about what they do and see if that might be of benefit to you as well. So stay tuned for a word from two of our sponsors. Hey, this is David Bradley with richmansgym.com. A friend of mine recently introduced me to a company whose mission is to help people like us get and stay healthy without having to spend a fortune to do it. They're called Live Good, and right now they are bringing us the most advanced nutritional supplements on the market today. They're made with only the purest, highest quality, results-driven ingredients on the planet, with one exception. There are no expensive pricing markups like we see with other companies. Why should you check them out yourself? Well, let me ask you. Number one, do you take supplements? Two, have you ever wondered, or are you right now concerned that you might be overpaying for your supplements? If you answered yes to those two questions, there is a way for you to get high quality supplements for up to 75% less than what you're probably currently paying. You like that idea? Sound interesting? Then check this out, because at the same time, there is also a way for you to supplement your income by as much as $2,000 a month without having to go out and recruit anybody. Would you like to learn more about that? Of course. So what's the next step? Simple. I need about 6.5 minutes of your undivided attention. Head on over to richmansgym.com/live-good-tour. That's richmansgym.com/live-good-tour, where you will learn more about how Live Good is breaking the mold and decide for yourself if it's worth taking a deeper look. So again, for good measure, richmansgym.com/live-good-tour. richmansgym.com/live-good-tour. See you there. Meet the MyHigh Infrared Sauna Blanket, the world's most portable infrared sauna. Experience the sauna high from the comfort of your own home, utilizing effective infrared heat to promote a range of health benefits. Calm your mind and body, burn calories, detoxify better and faster. 5 minutes to heat up, 30 to 60 minutes per session, 1 minute to clean. Easily stored in our convenient carry bag. A fraction of the price of a normal sauna. Order yours today at richmansgym.com/myhigh. That's richmansgym.com/myhigh. richmansgym.com/myhigh. And we're back. Okay, so one simple hack to fight cravings. That's what we're going to cover today. This is one simple hack. Well, let me just ask you this. What's your addiction? Maybe you got more than one. I know I have. I've wrestled with some form of addiction most of my adult life, maybe even in early teens is when that got started. And whatever it is that you're struggling with, one of the biggest challenges that we face is what to do with cravings. So I'm going to show you one of the ways I handle my own cravings. That's what we're going to be covering today. Okay, ultimately, it comes down to a couple simple things. I like it simple, right? Simple you can work with. The more complicated it gets, the harder it becomes. But keep this in mind, though. Simple does not necessarily mean easy. Those are two very, very different things. Simple just means simple. Picking something off the ground is a very simple movement pattern. You're at the gym. You grab a pair of 10-pound dumbbells off the floor. Pick them up. Very, very simple move. Very easy, too. Now, what if we put 10x on those dumbbells? Still simple, but picking them off the floor level, not as easy as it was a second ago. It goes the same for cravings and for handling those cravings. This simple hack, what I like to call it, it can be easy. It can be easy, or it can be incredibly heavy for you just sort of based on where you're at with your addiction. So cravings are strong, right? Let's not hide that fact. I smoked cigarettes for like almost 15 years. The last cigarette I had was in May of 2002. And you know what? You know what? I still get cravings. So if you ever read my book or you listen to the Audible, How to Stop Smoking Without Killing Anyone, over at stopdon'tquit.com, I'm going to talk about the agony, the sheer agony of the first 3 days of not having a cigarette. Man, I was literally going out of my mind. It felt like my skin was crawling, felt like I wanted to crawl the walls, like real gnashing of teeth kind of stuff, clenching my fist and just literally going out of my mind. So here's what I did first. Here is what I did first to fight the cravings to smoke. I recognized that all I have here is a stroke of luck. All I have here is a craving or an urge. It's a feeling that I have. And I am separate. Me, who I am separate from that feeling, from that craving, from that urge. I'm under no obligation to act on the craving or the urge or the desire to smoke. Like, think about all the urges that we get that we don't act on. If you acted on every urge you had, how long would it take before you're doing 25 to life? Why are you giving this urge any more power than it deserves? Now, sure, let's be real. You've succumbed in the past. I have. But that's where it is. The past. Where are you now? Now, right? That's where you're at. You are in the now, or at least I hope you are. Because when you're not in the present, when you're not right here, right now, you are so much more vulnerable for a relapse. You're acting like the old you. The new you and the future you doesn't do that. So you got to be that person. So when you get the craving, I want you to recognize two things. One, an urge is not a command that you have to act on. The next thing you do after the urge is one thing and one thing only, and that is a decision. Number two, you're stuck in the past because the new you and the future you doesn't do that. So when the craving comes, recognize those two things. This is an urge, not a command. I can make a decision to or not to. Okay. And I'm stuck in the past right now because the new me, the future me, doesn't do that. And then I want you to say this to yourself. Say it out loud, say it in your brain. You can say it. I don't need that right now. Whatever that is for you. Cigarettes, beer, Jack Daniels, caffeine, Coke Zero, cocaine, ice cream, whatever. I don't need that right now. That's what I want you to say, and I want you to mean it. I don't need this right now. Period. And you know why? Because you don't. Now, you can say this as many times as you need to until the urge subsides, because it will, because it has, because it does. You are the pilot, not your addiction. And anyone trying to tell you you're not in control is either misinformed or a pharmaceutical sales rep. Man has had free will since day one. You chose your addiction. You picked it. You chose it. Own it. Now you're choosing to change for the better. Be present in this moment where you don't need that right now. Whatever that addiction is, you don't need that right now. Look at the future version of yourself where you're stronger than your addiction and be that person in this moment. Simple, right? Definitely not easy. Definitely not easy, but definitely it also works when you stay with it long enough for it to work. And I'm living proof because, again, I haven't had a cigarette since May of 2002. Stopped drinking in 2007. Will you try that, though? The next time you get an urge, try that. Just say it to yourself, I don't need this right now, and live off of that. Take action off of that. Now, if you have had or are struggling with addiction right now, what has worked for you to overcome cravings? Leave me a comment below. I would love to get some feedback from you on what has helped you fight, stay sober, stay away from the addiction. Throw me some feedback on how this has helped. Thank you so much for listening. This is Rich Man's Gym, strength and conditioning for body, mind, and spirit. Train anywhere. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.